Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Learn to Play Games. We're here at Gen Con 2017. This is day 3. I'm joined with Plaid Hat Games and Jerry Hawthorne, the creator of Stuffed Fables. So Jerry, can you tell us a little bit about what this new game is that you've made?
Absolutely. This new game is a family-oriented, purely cooperative adventure game for 2 to 4 players, where you play the part of a little stuffed animal who comes to life at night to protect their little girl from the monsters that come from under the bed.
Oh wow, that looks really neat. I love Mice and Mystics, and so did you pull inspiration from that for this, or is this going to be a completely different style of playing?
This is a completely different style of playing the game, but if you like Mice and Mystics, you'll recognize that this strums the same strings as Mice and Mystics. Okay. It's full of charm, it's family friendly, it's accessible.
Sure.
To all ages,
okay.
And anybody who's a child at heart will totally get this game.
Great.
So go ahead.
Great, so let's go ahead and jump behind the camera, and I'll show you guys what this game's all about.
So Stuffed Fables, a session of Stuffed Fables takes about 90 minutes to play. When you start a game of Stuffed Fables, you will be playing through one night in a little girl's life. During the night when she's asleep, the little stuffed animals, they kind of clock in, and it's their shift, and they come to life, and they're there to protect her from any monsters that might want to come onto the bed, from under the bed and interrupt her sleep. You start by reading story, and then you get right involved into the action. As you play through the book, it's like a choose your own adventure, so it's going to tell you which way to go. The book kind of just guides you along. Every time you turn a page, you're going to be in a new environment, and your stuffies will have to face new challenges. The game teaches you as it goes along. We have these little QR codes, so as you can learn the game as you go by holding your phone over the QR code. A little video rule will pop up, and it'll teach you that particular rule. So as you're exploring through the game world, you're going to be going through a wide variety of environments. Sometimes you're playing on the environment, but sometimes you're actually playing on the art, and the game will change a little bit, and we'll help you through that as well. If you ever get lost or wondering where you're at, we have little helps here that help keep you on track with the game. This is a 104-page storybook, so you have a lot of environments to explore and a lot of stories to conquer. When you get to the end of the story, your stuffies will arrive back in the room where the little girl is asleep, and hopefully you get there before she's woken up.
Attention Gen Con attendees, come learn to play over 50 different games for free. That's right, no ticket or fee required at the Rio Grande Room number 233 on the 2nd floor. We're open till midnight. We'll be happy to teach you some of our newest games like Race for the Galaxy, Jump Drive, and Orient Express. Hope to see you soon.
On your turn in Stuffed Fables, it's really simple. All you do is you reach into this bag and you pull out 5 dice. The dice are all different colors. The color on the dice determines what you can do on your turn. And we can share dice with your fellow players. And black dice and white dice do something completely different. Your white dice, in the game, your life points are stuffing. So if you ever get hurt in the game, you just lose stuffing. But whenever you pull a white dice out of the bag, you have a chance of getting more stuffing back in, and you can stuff your stuffy back up again. Black dice are the threat dice, and if you draw enough of those, eventually something bad's going to happen to your stuffies, and you're going to have to deal with more challenges, usually in the form of bad toys that are going to come after you. The other dice are colored dice, and they match different attributes of the stuffies. When you're in the other world exploring around, you're going to discover a lot of lost and broken toys that need your help. Inside every stuffy is a little plastic heart placed there by the great manufacturer. Every time you do a good deed in this other world, that heart fills up with love, and it allows you to do some of your special powers that each stuffy has. The game starts with 4 little stuffies that you can play with, but there's unlockable elements during the game. There's this discovery deck. Every time you play a chapter of the game, you're going to grab the discovery deck that matches that chapter. As you play through the game, the book's going to tell you whenever you need to pull a card from this deck and add it to your other decks in the game. So the game's constantly growing and changing as you go through the story. There's 7 stories in the game. Each story has 3 endings. So there's a lot of variety here, a lot of story, a lot of epic experiences that you can play through. At the end of every chapter, there's talking points. So if you want to discuss this with your fellow players, the talking points just kind of hit on some of the higher notes, the morals of the story, because you're actually playing a fable when you play the game.
Well, thank you so much, Jerry, for taking us through that really interesting game. I can't wait to try this out. I was a huge fan of Mice and Mystics, and this one looks fantastic. The miniatures are absolutely stunning. You have a very unique game here, so I really can't wait to dive into this one. When is this going to be available for people to pick up?
It's estimated to be released fourth quarter 2017, so by the end of this year.
Okay, so around maybe Christmas time,
Hopefully,
possibly?
yeah, that's what we're looking for.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Well, thank you so much again.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
And it's going to retail for $59.95, and we have a pre-order going on right now on our website. So.
Okay. All right, and so I will have a link to that in my comment section, so you guys can take a look at that if you guys are interested in pre-ordering this. And thank you so much again. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Catch you guys later. Bye.